Okay, good morning, students. How are we doing?
Doing all right.
Good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. I went through that review this morning and I took out some of the problems afterwards. So if you, it said people had started it, but I took a few out. So if you take it again, you'll see which ones it is, and then uh, it should be a little bit more manageable because there was like two or three of those 8-row tables. So I took, I we don't need that many truth tables. So, but that was the kind of the full. I mean, for some reason they put a whole bunch of them in there, and I said, I don't really think we need all that many. So we are dealing with our test at 12:30, and we got time now to go over. It's just going to be on Zoom. I didn't have enough time to set it up on HonorLock, but make sure that if you have not done that HonorLock verification thing, make sure you do that before the midterm. Okay, the midterm that HonorLock gives us some more flexibility, but like I said, you got to make sure you do it. You don't want to burn up time having to figure it out. I think most everybody had done it, but it's been participating at least, here every day. All right, so Justice is out there. She sent me some problems. Has anybody? I'll show you the ones that I got. Justice, can you type those problem numbers in the chat? Because I can't get to my email right now.
So I had a problem with 17. It wouldn't let me put the alphabet in for 17 that was on there.
17? Let me see what that's all about. All right.
Like it said basic and something else. Like not the calculator, but the keyboard didn't have like the alphabet. I don't know if it was because of my iPad or what.
All right. So I'll start at the beginning. I got them here, 3, 5, 13. We'll get to that when you're talking about, since it's later in the thing. So I got to go in as a student here. Actually, I want to go into the one for 20 and then go in as a student. Okay, so assignments. And if you got questions about any of them, please, Oh, and I took it this morning. It took me about a half hour, and I got a couple wrong. I'm going to show you those because they're a bit tricky. So, which one's the compound statement? That one, right? Because that's the only one that's got an or, an and, the if, then, and if, and only if. Now, this is the one you got to watch out because it's some, and remember, you're using this little thing. It's all and some are not are the negations of one another. That's a some or not. So all would be the one. Hold on, let me get that little thing. Like this little thing here. See, all and some are not, and then none and some are. So the one we're looking at, they give us a some or not. So we want to find the all. See, some are not. So all politicians are crooked is the negation. The negation of you need a car. Now you got to watch out. So every one of these mentions car, but not all of them are a negation. Like someday you'll need a car. Well, we can toss that out with you don't have a car. That's the different from you need a car. The car is new. It's still got car in it, but that's got nothing to do with that. So this is the negation. It is false that you need a new car. And that's one of the ways you can negate a sentence is by or statement by putting in the front it is false or it is not the case that, because it's tempting to pick this one because it looks more grammatical, but it's really not the same thing about need a car. All right, I think this is the first one that oh yeah, so that was one of the ones that you mentioned. What about this one? I thought this one was interesting. So they're giving us 4 different statements, X, Y, and Z. And what I did is this. All right. I'm just going to go through here and mark which ones are true. So 4 times 3 is 12. That's true. 2 plus 8 is 10 is true. 13 minus 4, 9 is true. 14 divided by 2 is 7, not 8. So this is the false. Okay. Now, which of the followings are going to be true? Well, all of these involve and. Just notice that. Okay. They all involve and. So the last one is Z and X. Z and X would be true and false. So that's and wise is false. So that one's not true. So I'm ruling out the one at the bottom. W and Y is true. See, because true and true is true. W and Z is false because we got true and false, which is false. And then the top one, X and Y, true and true is true. So both of those are true. Okay. So any questions about that? All right, let's look at another one. So this is another one here. Okay. All right, so let P be equal to, I think, and Q is I am. So which one is represented by P if and only if? Well, they only got one if and only
The
if in
first
there.
one.
Yeah, that's the only one that's going to work because it's the only one that's got an if and only if. All right. Because this right here would be if it was just a single arrow, if P then Q, this would be if Q. I'm sorry, this would be P or Q, and this would be P and Q. So they've given you all four of the compound connectives, and there's only the only one that's going to work is the one that's if and only if, because that's what that double arrow means. All right. So here's another one. We got to be a little bit careful. So we got two statements again. 20 minus 5 is 15. That's a true statement. But 30 plus 10 would be 40. So this one is false. Okay. So now, if we put in here false or true, so then the negation of false would be true. So true or true would be true. Okay. So it's just a matter of looking at the individual statement and realizing whether they're already true or false. Okay. All right. So we got two statements again. We got P, time is money and freedom is money. Q is time is freedom. Now, the statement, if time is money and money is freedom, then time is freedom. So we can write it out. So if time and money is freedom, so that's P. If then, and it's the simple O1, just if P then Q, because they're not negated. If time is money and money is freedom, then time is freedom. Oop. Let P be the statement, that's not enough information, and Q be the statement, that's not too much information. All right. So what statement is represented by this? All right. Well, we're negating the P. So essentially we're taking this out. And so P is just going to be, so then the statement would be just, that is
So it's B,
enough.
right?
Well, let me see. Or
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not.
see, that's why I'm writing it out. Just to make sure. Is that one in there?
Yes. It's the C, the third one.
That's not enough information, or it's too much information. So I'll recommend writing out what you're trying to find and then matching it up, okay? Because if you read through them, they all look pretty similar. So don't jump on that too quick. If you see one that looks good, make sure it's right by go ahead and just transcribing it, because what's happening is in each case, that negation here and there takes those negations out and just makes each one of them positive. All right. All right, so truth table. This one it just takes a while to do. All right. So they're giving us the statement there, X and Y or Z. So they want us to then do the truth table. So let's go ahead and do the truth table. Of course, that's what we got to pick. So we want to make sure we match up that last column. All right, so let's go over here. Puts a bunch of spaces in there. And since it's got 3 statements, then it's going to be an 8 row. So be patient. So X, Y, and Z. And remember this part right here, no matter what letters they're using, usually it's P, Q, and R. Sometimes they use X, Y, and Z because those just stand for particular statements. All right, so no matter what, this right here is always going to be the same when you set it up. Half are trues on the first column. Oop. So 4 trues, 4 falses, so that gives us the 8 on the first. Then these we're going to take and we're going to go 2 trues, 2 falses, 2 trues, 2 falses, all the way down. Two trues, 2 falses, 2 trues, 2 falses, and then here and then here's just true, false, all the way down. And by doing that, we get all 8 instances. Next week, when we start talking about counting, we'll talk about these things. They're called permutations. Each one of these is different now. True, 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 false, true, false, true, true, false, 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 true, true, false, true, false, 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 true, and false, false, false. Just a little bit off on the angle, but we still got what we need. Now, First thing is going to be X and Y. Okay. So we're just looking at X and Y all the way down. Anytime there's two trues, we're going to put a true. If there's not two trues, we're going to put an F. And it looks to me like the first two are the true ones, see? All the other ones have an F, so for and, those will be false. All the way down, because all of the rest of them have at least one false in it. And with and, one false spoils the broth. Last little step to do this, the whole thing. So we're going to take the last one that we did there and put it together with Z. And just keep in mind that what we're using here for the symbol is the or. We're using or on this and on the Z. The order doesn't matter here. So all we're going to do is just look for ones that have two falses, which would be this one and the one there. And there's one. All the rest of them have a T in there. So with the or, as long as we got one T, it's true. So true, 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 false, true, false, true, false. Is that one in there? It's not that one. Because we got three trues. It's not that one because we got three trues. This one looks good. Let's see. True, true, true. False, true. False, true, false. I think that's it. This has got too many trues. So it's this one. All right. Any questions about that? So even though it's an 8 rows, we only had 2 steps to do the X and the Y. Once we got that, then we put it together with a Z using or to find that final truth value table, the final truth column, which represents the whole statement. All right, so this one, so this is P, Q, or R. This one, we don't really need to build a truth table. I don't think. Let's see. Let's read it. Let P, Q, R be statements whose truth values are unknown and could each vary. Determine the possible combination of truth value that P, Q, and R could take on. Then consider the possible truth values for the combinations P, Q, and R. Let's see if we can, because what we got to do is fill in some blanks. All right. So I can use this same one here. I'm just going to change it to P, Q, and R. All right. So All right. So here we're going to have P or Q. All right. So we're just going to go all the way down using that OR rule. The OR, as long as we got one T, we got a true statement. So true, 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 true. And then the last two are false because there's two F's. See here, this is false, 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 false. We got two of them. All the rest of them have one true. And then now we're putting together with R. So the whole thing will be right here. P or Q or R. So we're putting these together now with OR. Let me go do it on the white background. So we're using these and we're still looking for two falses, and it looks like there might just be one of them. Because there's two, there's one true, there's one true. There's one true. There's one true. There's one true.
So because the
There's
P or Q is before the or R, I switched it. Like I did the P or Q before the R. That's maybe where I went wrong.
Well, I did. Look, I did the same thing. This is the P or Q right here.
Okay, okay. Wait, no, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about okay.
And then once I had that done, then I'm putting it together with the R using another OR. See, that OR right there. So we're using OR a second time. True, 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 false. So we just got to fill in. So this is a true here. There's only one false. So there we go. They just want us to fill those in. We don't have to do the whole table. But, well, we had to do the whole table in order to find out the missing ones, but, you know, they're not making us do the whole thing on there. All right. Questions about that one? All right. So this is 4. So let's, I think we done all the 8 ones, right? I'm going to keep that one there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one on the other side and go back to that whiteboard. So not P and not Q. Okay, so build us a little table. Thankfully this time it's only got 4. And those are going to be set up so half truths. We'd only need 4 rows. So true, true, false. This one, And then we need to have the not P and the not Q. We're doing that because until we know what those are, we can't put them together with the and that's really too many steps to do in our head. So let's just go down. Opposite of P all the way down would be false. False. And then true. True. And then this one is just the opposite, false. True. False. True. And then this right here is the final one. And the operation we're using is the and. So we got to switch to the and rule. The and rule is only true when we got two trues. Otherwise, it's false. So two F's definitely with and is false. One false spoils it. Another one spoils it. And then the last one is the one that's got two T's. So there's what we're looking at. Let's go back over there and see if that was on there. So false, 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 true. It looks like it's this first one, but yeah. So it's this one. So three falses and one true. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Any questions about that one? All right. So this one has got P or Q and P and Q or R and Q. All right. So so let's go back and use this one. So that's it. Let me double check it. P or Q or R and Q. P or Q or R and Q. All right. So let me make this a little bit. A little bit better. All right, so this is going to be P or so P or Q. So as long as we got one T with the or, we got a true statement. All right, double check P or Q or R and Q. True, as long as we got one T. All right, and then we're going to do R and Q. So this is more restrictive now. We are looking for two truths, and we're looking at these two columns. All right. So we have to have two truths for it to be true. Otherwise, it's going to be false. So that one's false. This one's false. This one's false. There's another two truths. All right. So then lastly, we're putting them both together. So the whole thing is being put together with or, right? Right, or. So I'm just going to put the or here to remind us what we're doing. We're using the or rule. So as long as we got one T, we got a true statement. But if we got two Fs, then it's false. All right. So this right here is our truth table. So we basically got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 truths and two Fs. Does that one exist over here? It looks to be the first one. Yep. This has only got one F. So it's this one here. I think we are done with the three table. Now we got darn one more. All right. That's why I took some of them out. Like I said, there's too many of them. I got it down to 18 problems.
So what was that one? That was the one with with 7 T's and the 1 F? Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 T's and two F's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, two F's.
Okay,
So it's that one. It was the first one.
okay.
All right.
That one was wrong.
so here's another one, but it's thankfully just two statements. All right. So let's see if it let me paste this over here. All right. So that's what we're building. Okay. We need the not P and the not Q, so I'm going to leave them there. So this right here is just going to be the first one on the inside, the P. All right, so I'm looking at these right now. I'm going to use those in a bit. Now I'm just applying the basic conditional rule. Remember, the basic conditional rule is this one is the false one, because that's the one that's true false. All the rest of them are true. All right, and so the not P. So then we're going to put this together. So we're putting together this one and the not P. Since it's or, the order is not important. Okay. I'm going to put the not Q over here because it is the conditional and that order is important. All right. So as long as we got one T, we're true. So I'm looking at the, so that's false, true, and true. So false and true is true with the or, false or false is false with the or true is true, true or true is true. So we got one false. All right, and the last step, I'm going to put the draw the not P, not Q again over here. So we got to put them in order when we use that conditional. So I'm just going to do false, false. I'm sorry, false, true, false, true. All right. And then we're using this on so we're using the arrow, the conditional, the last step on those two. And we're using the conditional rule. Get the conditional rule in your head. The conditional rule is the only one that's false is the one that's got order true, false. And there looks to be three of those. Because that one's false. That one's true. There's another one of the mean ones. There we go. So there is the one we're looking for. So false, true, false, false. And it's right there, the last one. See that? False, true, false, false. False, true, false. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's not it. Let's back up. Did I make a mistake?
Listen.
Let me go back through it. All right.
So for that one, I had got TTFT. I don't know.
All right. Well, let me see if I did something wrong. All right. So this is true, false, true, true. That's just the basic one. Not P is false, false, true, true. So putting these two together with or, true, false, true, true. So that's right. And then the not Q is false, true. Oh, I see what I did. That's true. So it's just that not Q is just this one, false, true, false, true. So I had it rewritten written wrong. So true, false is false, false, true is true, true, false again, false, and then true, true is true. So that one was over there, I'm pretty sure. And there we go. False, true, false, true, false, true, false, true. All right. All right. So I think we got one more truth table, which is why I didn't erase. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, that's the last one. All right, so let's go back over here. And then All right. So not P if and only if Q or not R. So we don't need this one either. But what we do need here is not P. So not P is just the opposite of P. So it's going to be false, false, false. All right. So that's just going to be the opposite all the way down. So four falses. And then four truths. All right. So we're going to need to have a not R. Probably should have done that first, but we'll make do. So not R is just false, true all the way down. The opposite of R as we speak now. False, true, false, true, false. Okay. So now we got to put that together with Q. All right. So we're looking at, I'm going to go ahead and underline the ones I'm looking at because I got to read over. So we're doing this one and this one. So there's not R and then there's Q and we're using the or. So we're looking for two falses. If we got two falses, it's false. Otherwise, it's true. So that one's false. That one's false. And I think the rest of them are true. So true, false, or false is true. All of the rest of them have one T in there. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and eight. Last step, we're going to do if and only if. In other words, now the if and only is equivalence. If they match, it's true. Doesn't matter whether it's two truths or two falses. So the whole thing is here, and I'm going to put the double arrow to remind me what I'm doing, and I'm working on the not P and this. So I'm doing Those two, and I'm checking each row on those two columns. And if they're the same, it's true. Otherwise, it's false. So false, true, they don't match. So it's false. Don't match. These match. True. False, true doesn't match. These two match. True, twos match. Another two trues match. These don't. And these do. So there, that's what we got. False, false, true, false, true, true, false, false. I forget what was we're working on. Let's go see. All right. So not that one because it starts off with two falses. So it looks to be this one. False, false, true, false, true. No, it's not quite that one because it falls apart here. Let's see what else we got. False, false, true, false, true, true, false, true. It looks to be this one. All right. All right. Finally got rid of these darn truth tables. All right. So let's write it out symbolically. Let's say there's only one statement. P is Sarah plays the flute. So then this translates as P and not P. All right. You think we need to do a truth table for that? Is it a tautology? Is it going to be true the whole time? Contradiction? Well, we can go ahead and do it. It's going to be short. Because look what it's saying. It's saying P and not P. What do you think that is? I'll go ahead and do the.
It seems like a contradiction.
Yeah, it's a contradiction, but and you can see by doing that thing. Let's just do it real quick. I shouldn't erase that one, but we don't need to do it. I guess that you just recognize it because they're contradicting one another. All right, so it's going to be P. Well, you know what? There's only two of them, so we don't need to have. So there's only two possibilities. There's true or false. Yeah, this isn't the 4 rows, just 2 rows. All right, so then this is false and true, the opposite. And so putting those two together with and, true and false is false. False and true is false. So all F's, thankfully, it's nice and short. It's a contradiction. All right. Does anybody want to see another truth table? Like I said, I took several of them out, so I want to make sure because we're running out of time.
No,
and then we'll see.
please, no.
Okay. I don't want to do one anymore either. But anyway, this ends up being oh, this is just what is it saying? All right, let's go. Let's just move on. Okay, here's just asking us to fill in the blank. So this would be, we're working on this one right there. So we got to have a not Q. And then we got to put that together with P. And then we got to put P, arrow, and not Q. So that's all they want there. They just want to know what the steps are.
So for that one, it wouldn't let me, like, see the little thing down there? It wouldn't let me put in like the letters.
Here?
No, with the
wouldn't-
keyboard.
Oh, well, I just typed them in.
Oh, we just
Oh,
had to
there's
do
no-
the top row, not the bottom, not the rest of it.
Right. I think
Yeah, the
because
only thing-
that happened to me as well. I was on my iPad though.
Yeah,
That's-
so it
Whatever
must be
you
an
gotta do is-
iPad thing.
You don't have
Does
to
it work?
use those. You can.
Hit
See,
that.
it won't
don't
even,
think that-
it won't even go to like letters.
It won't give you alphabet.
Yeah. Well, you use your keyboard. Your
Yeah, I
physical
don't think it let
keyboard.
us do it on our iPad though. That's
Not
why
the
I-
No,
iPad.
no,
Yeah.
no. This
So
stuff
I
is
just
not
left it blank.
compatible with. This stuff is not compatible with, mobile stuff. You got to
Yeah,
have a
and-
physical keyboard.
What was
Can you
what
go
was
over the
number
next one?
what was number 16?
Oh, I was going to come back to that because we're running
Oh.
out of time.
Oh,
Because that one's going to doing another truth table.
all right.
I can come back to if we got time, but like I said, I took us a whole number of stuff out, so it's going to be shorter. All right, so De Morgan's law is which one? It's or, so it becomes and. Say or becomes and.
Mhm.
The rest of these though are fairly short. All right, so this is the way that works. Okay, you're using this P, not P or Q is equivalent to. Okay. So what happens is when this happens, we got the opposite of P. All right. So this one. So this is the equivalence. Let me just, I'm used to looking at it the other way. So not P or Q is equivalent to if P then Q.
I ran into this issue too. I've done it like multiple times and
Yeah,
the answer wasn't there.
it's there.
No,
It's there.
I thought I was going crazy for a second.
It's there. I
You did.
did it earlier. Like I said, I
Okay.
was going to think about this because I'm used to doing it the other way. All right. So if we have this one, then we get that one. All right. Here it's just the opposite. It's the Q that's negated. So the Q doesn't get middle with. So it's going to be one of these three. So it's the opposite. So it's not Q. Or P. We can do it with a truth table, but believe me, I don't want to use another truth table.
Yeah, that's the answer I have for that one.
And I
Not-
do
Yeah, that'll be
when
it.
when I
Because
did
it's the opposite of the P. So the P is plain here, so it becomes not. And then the Q comes over as it is, so then it's that one. What did you say, Tori? Was that you, or I'm sorry, was it somebody else?
It wasn't me.
All right.
Sorry, it was
Okay.
me. When I
Oh,
did
Brandy?
the truth table, it like so P or Q was TTFT,
Right.
but none of them
Well,
came up as TTFT.
Okay, so you did all four of them. I mean, all I can say is
Right.
if you do them correctly,
It
that'll be
should.
the ones that'll match up.
Right. Okay, I'll check it out when we
I was trying to do these real short ones because all the rest of them should be pretty quick. Like I said, that's why I chopped out some of that, the truth table ones. All right, so we're going to use the Morgan's law. So we got Nathan doesn't fly, or he doesn't fly car, or he doesn't fly commercial planes, and he doesn't fly cargo planes. So that's De Morgan's law. So it's not P or not Q. So it becomes, we got to find the one with the and so it would be this one. This one right here. There it is. So it's negating flying commercial planes or cargo planes. In other words, that's what we got. So De Morgan's law wise, that's not P and not Q. And that's it right there. All right. So this is just asking for the contrapositive. So the contrapositive is where you turn them around and negate them. So it will be pass the class not. If I don't pass the class, then I do not study. So that one right there, by the contrapositive. In other words, let me just show you real quick where this is coming from. So that's what we're getting that from. That's the equivalence that the standard conditional is equivalent to the contrapositive. All right. This one, again, if you do the truth table for it, let's say, I might be able to just look and see the valid form. Let me type it out real quick. So P would be drive too fast. I think this one's a form one. You would get a ticket. If you get a ticket, then you will pay a fine. If you pay a fine, then you drive too fast. P. So if this was turned around, if P then R, yes, it would be valid, but this is not valid. All right. This is the misuse of the syllogism thing. So this is right here is another argument one. If a he saw is a marshalling, then it is friendly. So let's just let this be P. This is Q. And then the second premise is just P. All right, so let me write that out. P. So this is what we call the direct argument. I think they also call it the law of detachment. So if we've got that premise, if P then Q, and then our second premise is P, then the conclusion is Q. That's the only thing that will make it a valid argument. So that's the conclusion. Oops, no, that's it. It's friendly. Q is it is friendly.
So was it friendly or was it not friendly?
I know, go back.
Oh, wait a minute. That's it. Sorry. Thanks. Yeah, I hit the wrong one. I saw that all and I skipped it. So if I have a fever, then we don't feel well. So this is if P, then not Q. All right. So I think what they're using is they're using the a law of contraposition. I mean, the fact that the contrapositive is the opposite is the equivalent. You remember, you turn it around. So that's not Q and not P. So therefore, the nots come just a Q. So that would be if I feel well, then I don't have a fever. This one also, thankfully, you don't need to do a truth table for it. I'll write it out. All right, so Valerie owns a dog, so let's just be this is P. P or Q. The next one would be not Q. Conclusion, P. Is that valid? You can do the truth table for it, but that doesn't tell you the name. It's this one here, and that's what it's called on my sheet. And in this section of their work, it's the law of disjunctive. See, there's the disjunction. So that's what it ends up being. All right, so we used up a lot more time than I thought. Like I said, I wanted to take some of those out, and I did take a few out, but I took more out for the actual test. So any last questions?
Can you tell me if 16 true or false?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I did it over here. Let's see if I can get back in and look at it. So 16. Okay, so what we got to do is we got to take out the one instance that matches. Let me see if I can go back in here. Damn, I remember doing this one. I just can't remember offhand whether it was true or false. I'm going to see if I can get back in and look. So 16 is false, yeah. And the way you can tell, yeah, it's false. I can't remember offhand. I think it's just one of these instances you got to go through and you got to do it. Like I said, we're out of time. If you want to stick around, we can go through it. I'm trying to remember what exactly I did on it. Either we have ice cream. So anyway, I'll see you in 15, okay? You got something.
Can
Like
you-
I said, I'm going to.
I was having trouble with number 18.
Okay, 18 is just straight to Morgan's Law.
Okay.
It's verbatim De Morgan's Law. Let me see if I can get back to it. This is it with set theory. See, you've got here, you've got not A or B.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not A or B. Then that would be not A and not B.
Okay.
Well, I'll try, Justice. I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm a little bit behind. I got a couple of things I got to do, okay? But I'll see if I can get it started early. So that's this one here, see? The or becomes the and they're separately negated.
Okay. All right. Let me get my mind right.
Yeah, I know. I had a lot of stuff.
This was a lot.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, I know. Well, like I said, I shortened it up. 'Cause I
Okay.
went
Thank you
through
so
and did it
much.
and- Okay.
I see you in a bit.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.